as they all said, all of them, if a girl didn't have sex before college, she was going to get a visit from this strange being that walked in the shadows and only appeared at night where no one was around.
The creepy geeks.
They were going to get Slenderbone. That stuff sounds like glorified rape, Alex. True.
Yeah, it does.
Hey! Some man coming to take your virginity against your will.
That is pretty much glorified rape.
That's just rape.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Is Slenderbone a separate thing from Slender Man?
I don't know.
Is it Slender Man's sexy cousin?
What's the story of Slenderbone?
I don't like this story. I am comfortable already.
We've reached the first breaking point.
Shall I read it for a bit?
Yes. I hope you can understand her through her thick, disgusting accent.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Action! Tom paced back and forth, pausing for a moment to look at Stacy, before looking away and off into the distance. The clouds were accumulating on the horizon, perhaps a sign of rain with the shifting weather patterns and abrupt temperature changes.
Or perhaps a sign of slenderboning.
That is the second most common thing clouds appear for, or so I am told. They're just not allowed to mention it on the weather because it's a conspiracy. I don't know, he sighed. Everything is different now. He looked back at the girl who stood with him in the frame. Please, she said, taking 2 steps closer to as Alexia zoomed in on the couple. Please stay just a little longer. Tom nuzzled against the girl for a brief moment before pulling away and turning from the camera. It's just not the same. I don't know if we can be together. The blonde girl had a glimmer in her eyes. Perhaps the onset of tears forming on her bottom eyelid.
No, that's actually a very serious condition. You should get that checked out by a doctor.
It was an act that made her a prime candidate for the part in the first place. Conjunctivitis. Stay, she begged, grabbing onto the shoulders of the male lead. Just for tonight. I won't tell anyone.
Can I slenderbone you?
The sudden willingness of the girl had Tom considering second thoughts about leaving his first love interest behind.
I might get laid.
All right, he said, looking down into the eyes of his former crush. Just for tonight. One of his hands pulled a few strands of hair from the girl's face. Your eyes are so beautiful. Cat! Alexia pulled the viewfinder from her face, pressing a button on the side to stop recording. Not bad, Tom. And some great tears there, Stacy.
I know.
The blonde girl nodded, wiping the liquid from her eyes. All right, that's enough for today. Tom, you have my number, right? Granite Wasps was a low-budget student film for Alexia, an assignment for one of her classes. Granite Wasps. I see what they did there. Isn't that okay? So, Marble Hornets is the original series of films which made Slender Man really, really popular.
Ah, he did his research!
Yes, he did!
That's adorable. Okay.
He probably read the Know Your Meme page as well. Informative and accurate. We're not sponsored by Know Your Meme.
Still.
The story was fairly basic, about a guy who goes off to college and returns home, finding that things aren't as they used to be, and that former friends have become increasingly distant in his absence. The projected length was only about 40 minutes long, with Alexia doing most of the writing and directing. The project has become somewhat loosely organised lately, like the narration for this story, with Alexia wanting to do shooting days less and less. Where are you going? Why are you leaving me? Oh, you're getting a... Okay. With Alexia wanting to do shooting days less and less. This was the first time in 2 weeks that we've worked on it. The actors and myself have had no problems working on it for free, but my friend seems to have become disinterested in the project.
Whether she was in my house.
Whether she was just tired with the story, or legitimately too busy to show up on scheduled shoots, I have no idea. As the sun started to set, we packed up everything and stowed the camera materials in the back of Alexia's car. The 2 leads were supposed to do a kiss during this encounter in the gazebo. No, but recent script changes had moved the scene to a different location. I asked Alexia what the title meant when the movie was just starting to get in production. After all, Granite Wasps isn't something that I felt sparked interest to see the thing. It sounded like a generic monster movie. Indestructible wasps attacking a neighbourhood or something. That would be so much more entertaining than this.
Yes. I hate wasps.
I hate wasps.
They're so evil.
Especially
Like
they were made of
Slenderbone.
granite.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah. It was a joke which Alexia didn't like very much, and promptly defended her decision on the title, saying it felt like it was the right name for the movie. I didn't take it any further. Alexia sounds like she has no sense of humour. Did she name it Granite Wasps to be, like, edgy?
Probably.
She's the one who does, like...
You don't question the artiste!
Oh, God, she's one of those people who reblogs hipster posts on Tumblr unironically, isn't she? Like a seagull posted on a lamppost next to the ocean with a storm in the distance and the thing about, I swear in that moment we were infinite and all that crap. Anyway.
To be fair, they were infinite in that moment.
They were very infinite.
Especially with the seagull.
Mm-hmm. On the way back, after dropping off Tom and Stacey, we were heading back to the university apartments. Alexia and I both lived in the same building, but on different floors. This is really boring. As childhood friends...
This is important detail.
Oh, yeah, it's important exposition, right. As childhood friends, we had anticipated to get the same room, and were disappointed when that wasn't the case. Now we had to make new friends. That's not a line. Now, looking over at my friend, who was becoming increasingly pale as the night looked over us...
She's a vampire!
Or there's a really big medieval knight just glaring down on them constantly.
Slenderbone is all it's the artistic definition of Keith.
That's right. And the car's headlights illuminated the road ahead. I was recently feeling relieved. She went to the bathroom before they left?
Yes.
What's wrong, I asked, looking at the ghastly face of my friend behind the wheel, and the wide eyes which rarely blinked. Her arms visibly shivered. It's just so cold, she muttered. Well, turn the heat on, silly, I said, cranking up the knobs on the console and feeling the warmth coming through the vents. Alexia didn't say anything. It was something which had become increasingly common. Sometimes she seemed normal, like the cheery girl that I had grown up with. On other occasions, like right now, she was distant and quiet, almost a polar opposite of her usual self. Almost a bipolar opposite of her usual self, perhaps. Just throwing it out there. With midterm tests coming up, I could understand the stress. Hell, I had an exam to study for when I got back to my room. But there was something else going on with Alexia. School tests didn't do this to a girl. She had a lot else on her mind, like slenderboning. About a mile away from the campus, with eyes searching across into the blurred shapes of trees and signs that passed our car, I swore I saw something in the bushes, just off the side of the highway. Maybe my eyes... That's exactly what I'm expecting to turn up. Please. Maybe my eyes were deceiving me, but it looked like a figure. A man standing along the tree line. I could barely make out his shoulders and arms in the moonlight, reflecting off of the black of his wardrobe. Regardless...
He's carrying a wardrobe around? That's just so inconvenient.
It's just so he can always escape to Narnia when he needs to.
That's where he comes from!
Oh, Aslan, what have you done?
No, it's the White Witch's dark counterpart.
Yes. Regardless.
Add that to the canon.
It made him difficult to see.
Well,
his head black. And left, yeah, funny that.
And carrying a wardrobe.
Yeah. His head and lower body were obscured by shadows and branches. Oh, those damn pesky, opaque branches. But I just ignored it as a trick of my eyes and wild imagination, seeing things that weren't actually there.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. When I looked back, twisting my head against the passenger side window and watching my breath appear on the cold glass, I couldn't see him anymore. Possibly because your breath is appearing on the cold glass.
I couldn't see him. The glass was frosted.
There was a strange mist that had come out of nowhere and was obscuring my vision. It was like it was right in front of my face.
As someone who has worn glasses, I can describe that.
I should check my privilege. Did you see something, Alexia asked, starting a conversation for the first time since we had entered the car. Her voice was still soft and flat. Okay, so wait, that should have been, did you see something? No, I shook my head. I thought I did, but it must have been a tree, or a branch, or something.
Or a man carrying a wardrobe.
Yes, you do get so many of those around these parts. There's the IKEA down the road. We didn't say anything else on the way back. Text break, back to Jackie. I've been helping on some of the shots, doing camera work and makeup whenever needed. Who's I? Who's the narrator of this?
That's the Jamie bitch. Girl.
But no, but so wait, is this being narrated by the point of view of someone?
Yes, sorry. First person, Jamie. She's the girl. I won't believe it, no matter what.
Okay, so we missed an introductory opening narration, or?
No, that was just how it started.
Okay, so suddenly we're in the first person.